On the news tonight, federal government issues 7 days forecast warning on flood in 33 states. Ekiti state government disburses 39 million naira as relief assistance to disaster victims. Plus, another batch of Nigerians returned from South Africa. This is the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Ekiti News Tonight. Good evening and welcome. I'm Tayo Osho. The federal government has issued a 7-day forecast warning, August 2026. The government said rising river levels are expected to trigger flooding in multiple locations during the period. States at high risk are Kaduna, Niger, Taraba, Ondo, Oyo, Rivers, Abia, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bayelsa, Benue, Borno, and Cross River. Others are Delta, Ebonyi, Edo, Enugu, Gombe, Imo, Jigawa, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Lagos, Ogun, Osun, and Plateau State. The Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency has urged communities living on floodplains to move immediately to higher ground and called on state and local governments to activate early warning systems and emergency response plans. Ekiti state government has disbursed 39 million naira as relief assistance to victims of fire disaster that ravaged some parts of the state. The event was the flag-off of the distribution of checks to victims of fire disaster and relief material in Ekiti state. Kola Adebobuyi reports.
The distribution of checks to another batch of victims of fire disaster and foodstuff to victims of windstorm disaster is a direct response by the state government with the support from the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to bring succor, hope, and relief to people affected by unfortunate incidents in the state. Presenting the checks to the beneficiaries, the Deputy Governor, Monisade Afuye, noted that Governor Bedo Yebanje has taken innovative steps to fortify disaster management strategy at the grassroots. This, she said, has not only ensured responsive emergency management to the third tier, but also enhanced effective prevention and prompt responses to emerging disaster cases, mitigating the levels of occurrence and sufferings.
Mr. Governor is so hampered with their lives. Though most of these things are property, but at the same time, one there is life, there's lives and property of Ekiti State.
The General Manager, Ekiti State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, expressed determination to continue to support victims of various forms of disasters.
And then do things that will prevent fire incidents in their different homes.
Representative Auditor General, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Zubaida Umar, said the federal government, through NEMA, recognizes the difficulties faced by disaster-affected persons and remains committed to providing timely humanitarian assistance. Hence, the intervention, which is an expression of government concern and commitment to supporting vulnerable citizens during difficult moments.
We must continue to strengthen our effort in disaster risk reduction, preparedness, early warning, community awareness, and resilient infrastructure.
Some of the beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the government for the gesture. Stakeholders appealed to residents to always ensure a safe and secure environment capable of preventing disaster in the state. In Ekiti, Kola Adebobuyi, NTA.
Nigeria's drive to tackle climate change and reduce greenhouse emission is gaining momentum, with attention now shifting to methane, one of the most potent contributors to global warming. To this end, the National Council on Climate Change is bringing together key stakeholders to examine practical measures for reducing methane emissions, strengthen coordination, and support Nigeria's commitment to a cleaner and more sustainable future. Abdul Jalil Mohamed Bawa reports.
Methane is released from several human activities, with waste management and organic waste as major sources. Cutting this emission is key to Nigeria's climate action and environmental sustainability. To address this, the National Council on Climate Change, in collaboration with the Office of the Special Assistant to the President on Climate Matters and SARADEF Nigeria, convened stakeholders from government, the private sector, and civil society. Their goal develop practical strategies to cut methane from the waste sector for inclusion in Nigeria's national methane reduction plan.
Scientifically, the IPCC have determined that methane action is one of our fastest possible ways to reverse the adverse impact of global warming on the continent.
This thing that we call waste can also become a resource, can also become wealth for us.
Stakeholders called for better data, improved waste segregation, investment in methane capture technologies, stronger regulation, and more public awareness.
He who produces waste has a mandate to manage that waste. You and I, media, everybody has to be on board.
The council says coordinated action in the waste sector is critical to meeting Nigeria's climate target and building cleaner and healthier communities. In Abuja, Abdul Mohammed Bawa, NTA News.
The Ewi of Ado-Ekiti Oba Rufus Adejugbe has hosted dignitaries, including sons and daughters, at the grand finale of the 2026 Udiroko Festival, which marks the beginning of the new traditional calendar of Ado-Ekiti. Kola Adebobuyi reports that the festival was not only about speech-making, but also a display of cultural heritage the ancient town is endowed with.
It was a display of culture and tradition at the Udiroko Festival, which marks the first day in the Ado-Ekiti traditional calendar. The celebration was an opportunity to take stock of achievements in the past year, examine challenges, and chart course for the development of Ado-Ekiti. The paying of homage to the way of Ado-Ekiti Oba Rufus Adejugbe was another unique aspect of the ceremony, which signifies respect to the traditional ruler of the land, aside different cultural displays by different groups.
From our forefather, and that's why we are continuing celebrating it. And during the festival, Kabiyesi always pray for all the sons and daughters of this town. Pray for our progress, pray for our unity, pray for our compliment and the compliment of the town and that of state.
All over, we are so happy. We thank God for ushering us into a new year. And I say congratulations, Kabiyesi.
We come together today to thank God for what He has done in the life of all of us.
It's a day to celebrate the new year of Ado-Ekiti and also to promote our cultural heritage. So, and it's a way of uniting, coming together.
So the celebration today is a commemoration of the first day our ancestors settled there, and it marks the first day in the year for Ado-Ekiti calendar. So today is the first day of the calendar year.
We'll see them for many, many more years because he has really transformed the Udiroko Festival from what it used to be. Now it's gone global. So what we can wish him is to have many, many more Udiroko Festival.
The display by Ado-Ekiti Olori Group, led by the Eyeshoru of Ado-Ekiti, Olori Abosede Adejugbe, added glamour to the traditional and cultural festival. The way of Ado-Ekiti Oba Rufus Adejugbe emphasized the need for Nigerians to always give a pride of place to their history, culture, and tradition for the development of the country. From the point of history, the royal father said Udiroko is a euphemistic expression of the significance of the first meeting of Ado-Ekiti people under the Iroko tree to celebrate the founding of Ado Kingdom, noting that celebration of the collective existence of Ado-Ekiti people provides ample opportunity for sons and daughters to come together to appreciate God and pray for continuous peace and progress. The state governor, Dodo Ibanji, who congratulated sons and daughters of Ado-Ekiti on the age-long festival, which has become an important decimal in the cultural calendar of the community, stressed that government will continue to provide initiatives that will enhance sustainable development in every community in the state.
This festival is no longer an art festival. It has become an Ado-Ekiti festival. also use this festival as an avenue to give thanks for the community.
Some ethnic groups from central and northern parts of the country residing in Ado-Ekiti also took time to associate with the cultural heritage.
This is a New Year day in Ado-Ekiti. So it has a very beautiful meaning for Ado, and not only Ado indigenes.
The celebration, which remains the collective existence as Ado-Ekiti people, provides the opportunity for sons and daughters, both at home and abroad, to unite, appreciate God, and pray for continuous peace and progress. In Ado-Ekiti, Kola Adebabuyi, NT News.
Another batch of 83 Nigerians have voluntarily returned to the country from South Africa following concerns over xenophobic attacks and the safety of Nigerians living in the country. The latest return, in addition to the previous evacuation of 1,393 citizens, brings the total number of Nigerians repatriated from South Africa due to xenophobic attacks to 1,476. The latest repatriation was facilitated through the intervention of good-spirited private individuals who provided funds for the returnees' air tickets to enable them leave South Africa and return safely to Nigeria. Spokesman of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimbembi Ebiafa, said in a statement that the returnees arrived at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, aboard a South African Airways flight from Johannesburg. According to him, the returnees were received at the airport by the Director of the African Affairs Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Aruno Ali Gombe, who welcomed them on behalf of the federal government. Ebienfa explained that the returnees were subsequently handed over to relevant government agencies for documentation and profiling before being reunited with their families. Artificial intelligence is increasingly becoming part of young people's daily lives, influencing how they learn, access information, and solve problems. Bumi Adewumi in this report examines its growing effects on the thinking patterns of the younger generation.
Artificial intelligence can be described as a technology that can generate ideas, provide answers, analyze information, and complete tasks within seconds. For many young people, it is no longer a distant concept, content creation, or simply satisfying curiosity. Artificial intelligence has continued changing the way information is accessed and used.
Most people think AI is helping us. But to me, I will say the disadvantage, they also rely on AI to do all those things for them.
Some students share their experiences on how artificial intelligence has influenced the way they approach learning and everyday tasks.
Artificial intelligence has played both positive and negative impacts on youth thinking. Reason being, the positive impact first, it helps us in our studies. While on the negative impact is we youth use it too much.
Respondents expressed divergent views on the use of artificial intelligence, with some describing it as a valuable tool that makes learning and problem-solving easier, while others expressed concern about excessive dependence on the technology.
Though it has been so helpful, useful, and very fast, let me say, to a lot of things, but it might turn a lot of people to a very lazy kind of youth generally, because this thing is much more common amongst youth.
Everything in this world have their own bad side, depending on how you apply it. When you are talking about negative and positive events, if you wanted to use it positively, you can use it. Let me tell you, church, some people are using negatively. You understand what I'm saying? Let me say, even our sport, people are using it negatively. But we are talking about, okay, negative and positive effects. I will tell you, 98% is positive for people. So it's based on understanding. You can see all the programming, all these things that we are talking about. If you visit a high, you will easily understand it.
If my son is disturbing me about something now, maybe he's through his education, I'll just tell him go to AI and confirm whatever you want to confirm there. And AI will bring correct answer for him. That is the advantage I see about AI. So it depends.
As artificial intelligence continue to evolve, respondents believe its impact may not only be seen in what machines can do, but also in how the next generation chooses to think. In Ado-Ekiti, Bumi Adewumi, NTA News.
And that's our package. Many thanks for watching. Do stand by for the translation in Yoruba. Good evening.
Iroyin rèé, ẹ wá gbọ́, ẹ wá tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́, ìròyìn tó gún régé tí kò lẹ́jà ń bá kan nínú láti iléeṣẹ́ NTA 5 Ado-Ekiti wá. Ìròyìn ayọ̀ ní tiwa, kò pẹ́ dé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kì í lé, búlábúlà kò já létí o, ẹ̀mí ti búra kí ẹ gbọ́ ògidì ìròyìn. Bó bá ṣe rí la ó sọ, ìròyìn rèé.
Nínú ìròyìn alẹ́ òní, ìjọba àpapọ̀ kéde ìkìlọ̀ ọlọ́jọ́ méje lórí ìkún omi tó ṣeé ṣe kó ṣẹlẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ 23. Ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì pín mílíọ̀nù 39 owó náírà gẹ́gẹ́ bí owó ìtura fáwọn tó lùgbàdì ìjàmbá, àti àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà mìíràn tún ṣẹ́rí padà wálé láti orílẹ̀-èdè South Africa. Ẹ kálẹ́ ẹ̀sìn kíṣẹ́ òní. Ìròyìn la máa fún yín láti iléeṣẹ́ NTA Ado-Ekiti. Táíwò Òjó ní orúkọ tèmi. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti dáwọ́ ìkìlọ̀ lórí ewu ìkún omi ọlọ́jọ́ méje tó ṣeé ṣe kó wáyé láwọn ibi tí àgbàrá òjò wà káàkiri àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ 23 lẹ́yìn tí yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin ọjọ́ 19 sí ọjọ́ 15 oṣù yìí. Àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ omíyalé àgbàrá ya ṣọ́ọ̀bù ọ̀hún yóò ṣeé ṣe kó ti wáyé ọ̀hún ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kaduna, Niger, Taraba, Ondo, Ọ̀yọ́, Rivers, Abia, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bayelsa, Benue, Borno àti Cross River. Àwọn tó kù ní Delta, Ebonyi, Edo, Enugu, Gombe, Imo, Jigawa, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Lagos, Ògùn, Ọ̀ṣun àti Plateau. Àjọ tó wà fọ́rọ̀ omi lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí ti wá rọ àwọn ìlú àti agbègbè tí ìkún omi ti lè ṣọṣẹ́ ọ̀hún láti káàṣà wọn lẹ́yẹ òṣọ̀kà kúrò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ló wá fún pè sí ìpínlẹ̀ àti ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ láti ṣègbè ìgbésẹ̀ lórí ìkìlọ̀ yìí nítorí ogun àwítẹ́lẹ̀ kí n parọ́ tó bá gbọ́n. Ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ti pín owó tó tó mílíọ̀nù 39 náírà gẹ́gẹ́ bí owó láti bu òróró ìtura fáwọn tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ làlúrí iná ọmọ rárá ṣe lọ́ṣẹ́ láwọn apá ibìkan nípínlẹ̀ yìí. Wọ́n ṣíde ètò ọ̀hún pẹ̀lú bó ṣe pín sọ̀wédowó fáwọn tó fara káṣá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ iná ọ̀hún. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àjọ tó wà fún ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì nípínlẹ̀ yìí àti lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí tún pín àwọn ohun èlò ìtura fáwọn tí òjò bà dúkìá wọn jẹ́. Kọ́lá Adébọ̀búyì jábọ̀ àtúpalẹ̀ rèé látẹnu Kẹ́hìndé Dòdòlá.
Pípín sọ̀rọ̀dọ̀wọ́ fún àwọn ọ̀wọ́ míì tí iná bà ní wọn jẹ́ àti oúnjẹ fún àwọn tí ìjì náà fọwọ́ bà ni ó jẹ́ ara ohun ìrọ̀rùn láti ọ̀dọ̀ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ yìí pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn àjọ tó wà fún ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì láti mú kí ohun ìtura kó dé bá wọn pẹ̀lú ìrètí àti rí wípé àwọn tí ó faragbá náà nínú ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ọ̀hún ní àlàáfíà dé bá nígbà tí ó pín sọ̀rọ̀dọ̀wọ́ náà fún àwọn tó jàǹfààní rẹ̀. Igbákejì gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ yìí Monisa de Àfúyẹ ó ṣàkíyèsí pé gómìnà Bíọ́dún Ìbánjí ló ti gbé ìgbésẹ̀ láti rí wípé àjọ tó wà fún ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì pàápàá jùlọ nígbèríko ló di èyí tó lè fi ògùn ẹ̀ gbàrí. Ó ní wọ́n ń ṣe léyìí létà àti lè rí wípé wọ́n lè tètè máa dá sí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì nígbà tó ti jẹ́ pé ojúṣe wọn ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ló fi kún pé wọ́n ti ń tẹra mọ́ ìlàkàkà àti pakún títètè máa dá sí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì nígbà tí ó bá ṣẹlẹ̀.
Pẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́lá gómìnà wa ọmọlúàbí fún ipa ribiribi tí wọ́n máa ń kó nígbàkigbà tí kan bá ti ṣẹlẹ̀. Lẹ́yìn àdé ń fẹ́ àsìkò ìdúpẹ́ náà lọ́wọ́ wọn fún ẹ̀mí ìtanijí, ẹ̀mí ìfẹ́ tán ní sí Èkìtì state wọ́n rí i pé wọn ò fẹ́ kí nǹkan kan ó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí gbogbo àwọn tó wà ní Èkìtì state bí kò ṣe pé kí àlàáfíà kó máa jọba.
ìwà iléeṣẹ́ àjọ tó ń rí sí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì nípìnlẹ̀ Èkìtì ni ó fi ẹ̀mí ìdánilójú ọ̀rọ̀ wípé àtìlẹ́yìn fún àwọn tó fara gbá náà ó jẹ́ onírúurú ọ̀nà tí wọ́n ń lò láti mú kí ọkàn wọn kó balẹ̀ sí.
gómìnà fún àwọn tó ti ilé iná wọn ilé iná jó ilé wọn tí gómìnà fún wọn ní check tó fún wọn ní grant ẹlòmíì gba 3 million ẹlòmíì gba 2 million depending on bá ṣe assessment sí so adúpẹ́ lọ́la gómìnà wa fún ìfẹ́ tí wọ́n ní sí àwọn victims nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì.
yóò àgbàjọ tó wà fún ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì lábẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ Wahida Umar lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n ṣojú fún ló mọrírì ìpèníjà ti ẹ̀ka tó wà fún ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì tó ń kojú tó sì ní wọ́n dó lórí ẹsẹ̀ àti máa pèsè ìrànlọ́wọ́ ní kíákíá èrèdí tí ìjọba ní lọ́wọ́ sí àti mú kí ìrọ̀rùn kó dé bá irú àwọn tí ó bá faragbá nínú ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà.
àdètúwá tí wàá ṣe pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì nípa pínpín owó fún àwọn tí iná tó ṣe kòǹgẹ́ ìjàmbá iná.
ara àwọn tó jẹ àǹfààní ọ̀hún ló fi mí ìdùnnú hàn sí ìjọba ọwọ́fẹ́ tí wọ́n nà sí wọn àwọn tó rà kàn wọ́n ló pàrọwà sáwọn ará ìlú láti rí i pé wọ́n lọ́wọ́ nínú ìgbésẹ̀ ìjọba láti mú kí àdínkù kó dé bá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì. Kẹ́hìndé Dúródọlá ló ṣàtúpalẹ̀ ròyìn.
orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ti túbọ̀ tẹpẹlẹ mọ́ ìyànjú rẹ̀ láti kojú ìpèníjà ìyípadà tó ń dé bá ojú ọjọ́ àti láti má dínkù bá àwọn afẹ́fẹ́ gáàsì tó ń fa ooru lágbàáyé níbi àfojúsùn rẹ̀ ti ṣe dojúkọ èròjà kan tí a mọ̀ sí methane tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn gáàsì tó lágbára tó ń ṣokùnfà ooru lágbàáyé. èyí ló mú kí ìgbìmọ̀ tó rí sí àyípadà ojú ọjọ́ ṣàkójọpọ̀ àwọn tọ́rọ̀ kàn láti ṣàgbéyẹ̀wò àwọn ọ̀nà àgbà láti má dínkù dé bá afẹ́fẹ́ methane ọ̀hún àti láti ṣàtìlẹ́yìn fún ìfarajì Nàìjíríà fún ọjọ́ iwájú tó dára tó sì ṣeé fẹ̀mí tẹ̀. Ewì tìlú Adó-Èkìtì ọba Rufus Adéjùgbé ti gbàlejò àwọn wọ̀kìlúmọ̀ ọ̀tọ̀kùlú ìlú tó fi mọ́ àwọn ọmọ ìlú ọ̀hún níbi àṣekágbá àjọ̀dún ọdún ìdúrókò tọdún 2026 lẹ́yìn tó sàmì ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ọdún ìbílẹ̀ tuntun nílùú Adó-Èkìtì. Aṣojúkọ̀ròyìn wa Kọ́lá Adébọ̀búyì jábọ̀ wípé àjọ̀dún tọdún yìí kìí ṣe nípa tó tónu nìkan ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n tún ṣàfihàn àṣà àjogúnbá tó sodo sílùú àṣẹ̀ǹbáyé ọ̀hún. àbọ̀rèrè látẹnu Táyọ̀ Ṣọ́.
ọdún ìdìrókò ni ó jẹ́ ìṣàfihàn àṣà àti ìṣe ìlú Adó-Èkìtì léyìí tí ó jẹ́ ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ kájọkáṣù ìlú náà. ọdún náà ni ó jẹ́ àǹfààní láti ṣàgbéyẹ̀wò àwọn àṣeyọrí tí wọ́n ṣe ní ọdún tó kọjá, àwọn ìpèníjà tí wọ́n kojú létè àti ìṣọ́nà fún ìdàgbàsókè ìlú náà. àwọn ẹlẹ́gbẹ́jẹgbẹ́ ni wọ́n ṣe kẹ́pẹ́ sí ewì Adó-Èkìtì ọba Rufus Adéjùgbé lẹ́yìn tí ó ṣàfihàn ọ̀wọ̀ tí wọ́n ní fún orí adé yàtọ̀ sí ìṣàfihàn onírúurú àṣà àti ìṣe láti ọwọ́ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ lónírúurú.
àti àwọn tó wá látòkè òkú àti everybody wa àti àkókò yẹn náà ni kábíyèsí máa ń jẹ la mọ̀ sí pé àkókò tí kábíyèsí máa jẹ iṣu tuntun tó ó wà lára àkẹ́ tí irú ẹ̀yájọ́ ọjọ́ òbí yìí tó ṣiṣẹ́ fún ta.
everybody gbogbo wọn náà wálé wádẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé gbogbo wa apéjú apẹ́sẹ̀ Olúwa ṣeun.
peter bàbá wa kọ́ péjọ sí so ayẹyẹ tá à ń ṣe léyìn ní ọjọ́ kìíní oṣù kìíní ọdún kìíní fún
orílẹ̀ ní gbogbo Adó.
ọdún tá à ń ṣe ọdún òṣìkè èjìkálẹ̀ Adó ni ọdún ìbílẹ̀ ni ọdún yìí ọdún ìbílẹ̀ ni tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ sí ìdìrókò ọdún ọlọ́run bọ̀run.
ètò àwọn olórí lẹ́yìn tí èyí ṣọ̀run Adó-Èkìtì olórí Abọ́sẹ̀dé Adéjùgbé léwájú wọn ni ó tún pakun adùn ètò náà. Èrè Adó-Èkìtì ọba Rufus Adéjùgbé ni ó ṣàtẹnumọ́ pàtàkì kí àwọn èèyàn orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ó máa bọ̀wọ̀ fún ìtàn àti àṣà fún ìdàgbàsókè. Ó ṣàlàyé wípé ọdún ìdìrókò ni ó dúró fún ìpàdé àkọ́kọ́ tí àwọn ọmọ ìlú Adó-Èkìtì ṣe ní abẹ́ igi ìrókò nígbà tí wọ́n dé ibi tí wọ́n tẹ̀dó sí lẹ́yìn tí ó jẹ́ ìlú Adó-Èkìtì. Bákan náà ni ó júwe ọdún náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí àǹfààní fún àwọn ọmọ ìlú lọ́kùnrin àti lóbìnrin láti kóra jọpọ̀ láti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tó fi mọ́ láti gbàdúrà fún ìmúgbòòrò àlàáfíà àti ìṣọ̀kan. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí tí ó kí àwọn ọmọ ìlú Adó-Èkìtì lọ́kùnrin àti lóbìnrin kú oríire fún ọdún náà ṣàlàyé wípé ìjọba yóò tẹ̀síwájú láti máa mú ìdàgbàsókè bá àṣà àti ohun tí yóò mú kí ìtẹ̀síwájú ó fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀ ní àwọn ìlú. Àwọn ẹlẹ́gbẹ́jẹgbẹ́ káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tí wọ́n gbé nílùú Adó-Èkìtì ni wọ́n kópa nínú ọdún náà.
ẹni tí tó bá wá sí pálàsì bíi tó bá gbọ́ ti ìdọ́mà ó mú tọkàntọkàn bí àwọn ọmọ ẹni àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn àdúpẹ́ àṣà tó àti Adó-Èkìtì tó gbé ìdìrókò jáde.
Ọdún náà ni ó jẹ́ àǹfààní fún àwọn ọmọ ìlú Adó-Èkìtì nílé àti lẹ́yìn odi láti kórajọpọ̀ ní ìṣọ̀kan tó fi mọ́ láti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún ìmúgbòòrò àlàáfíà àti ìṣọ̀kan. Táyọ̀ Ṣọ́ fúròyìn NTA.
àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà 23 tún ti fínúfíndọ̀ padà wá sórílẹ̀-èdè yìí láti orílẹ̀-èdè South Africa látàrí ìbẹ̀rù ìkọlù tó ṣe sáwọn àrè àti fún ààbò àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó gbé lórílẹ̀-èdè ọ̀hún. Èyí pẹ̀lú àwọn tó dín díẹ̀ ní ẹgbẹ̀je ọmọ ilẹ̀ yìí tó ti ṣẹ́rí wálé láti orílẹ̀-èdè South Africa ọ̀hún lẹ́yìn tó mú kí àwọn tó ti padà wálé sórílẹ̀-èdè bàbá wọn jẹ́ 4,4 ọmọ ilẹ̀ yìí. tó níbi lárimọ fún tòní ọ̀la ni kẹ́tù pàdé wa fákọ̀tì ìròyìn mi kó tó dọ̀wà náà kọ kásìrì o.